Well, good morning, everyone. It's Lonnie. We're back in the shed Monday morning. I got all my packing done except for I'm finishing up the big $600 Wolverine statue. I wanted to touch on this one real quick just because it's a little more expensive piece, a lot more expensive piece, and show y'all kind of how I did it. So the box inside, it has, I'll try and put some pictures up, but there are styrofoam, there are two big styrofoam halves, and there are little places for each component of the statue. So that's fairly safe. But what I did, I should have shown this before I closed it all up, but it's too late. I plastic wrapped each piece because it didn't all have its plastic still. And in some cases I put little pieces, I cut some of this foam wrap up and just inserted it in there to make sure it was really tight so it couldn't like rattle around or anything. Once I got that done, I put, I don't know, there's like at least 2 or 3 deep layers of bubble wrap across all of it. I don't know, I probably used about 20 foot of bubble wrap on that or more. Then I used 2 of these. I did a Frankenbox. I used 2 of these, what size is this? 16 by 12 by 12 small boxes. These are like 80 something cents a piece at Home Depot. And well, first at the bottom, I took some cardboard, taped it together, and I have like a bottom layer of cardboard, and then there's the bottom of this, and then I have these 2 boxes put on top of each other. So there's at a bare minimum on every surface of this box, there's at least 2 layers of cardboard. So basically it has the effect of being double wall throughout, at least. Some places it might end up being, nah, that's what it is. It's a double wall box throughout. I'm going to put one more layer of paper on top and then another layer of cardboard and then seal it up. And then on the sides I have paper, and on the bottom and the top I have paper that are basically just floating this box in the middle of the Frankenbox. So I think this package is really well packed, and I think it should make it to Brandon just fine. So yep, that's how I'm doing that. I wanted to share. Okay, it's all packed up, ready to go. And I mean, this is a little different package because, like I said, the inner box has, it's styrofoam with the pieces deep within, so nothing's going to really happen to that anyway. But sometimes when you have, you know, some sales, you want to pack a little more carefully than others. I remember last year I sold a Yadro chess set that I had purchased for $300 at an estate sale. I sold it for $800 plus shipping, and I spent a good 2 hours packing that. I took, because it was all like porcelain chess pieces, 32 of them, right? So I had to individually baby, pamper, and pack each one of those things. So, and I was thinking while I was sealing this box up, there are 3 ways to protect an item, and it's up to you to, you know, consider that and determine like which one of these or which blend of all 3 you're going to use. There's 3 things to consider: strength of the package, like how tough is the box or the packing, padding, like bubble wrap or air pillows or foam or, you know, styrofoam peanuts or whatever the heck it is you use, foam padding. And then the other thing you can use is simply space. Like in this case, I used all 3 here. I have double wall box. I use space by kind of floating the inner box within this box, and then padding, the box is bubble wrapped, and there's padding within the package too. So yeah, that's it. Sometimes, I mean, like, people ask, how do you pack this, how do you pack that? And after you've been doing this for a while, I'm not like an expert on this or anything, but you just start, like, grab a box and start thinking about what it's going to go through on its way. And, you know, some of them you get wrong. Hopefully the expensive ones you get right. Okay, in the video from day before yesterday, somebody asked a question about a package they had sent out, and the buyer said, oops, wrong address, can you resend it? And they wanted to know how they could get paid for the additional shipping. And I was like, I didn't give a good answer because I was ignorant of the fact that actually the email address for the buyer shows up in 2 spots. There are a couple places it shows up, and I didn't think you could get it at all, and I was wrong. So one place that you can get it, and this is, several of y'all said it, but Dustin right here, buyer emails are available via eBay. He says go to sales, the transaction, and there's an option called view record. Has their email, address, and even phone number, and it is there. I went and checked. So if you look at your orders and then find the item, view, and then the drop down, view sales record, there it is right there. There's the email address. Also, some of you said that the email address is available in the email that comes from PayPal, and that is true also. So what I initially thought, and I'm trying and cover up, what I see is service at PayPal is like where the email comes from. But if you expand and show details of where it's coming from, this is a part where I got to kind of mask the information. Then I get more information. It says from, and that's going to be service at PayPal. And then there's a reply to address. Their actual email address shows up in the reply to field. So there are 2 spots. So yeah, in that case, since you have the email address, you can just send them a PayPal invoice for the additional shipping. So thanks to everyone that actually, you know, gave correct information there about where you could find that email address. So yeah, that's really handy. There's actually been a couple of times in the past year where I needed that. All right, couple more things to pull. Finally need to get these down. Take all of them down real quick. But yeah, a couple more items to pull before I go to the post office today. I sold, I don't even know if I would call this big box, because this is like, I don't know, maybe mid 2000, maybe 2005 or somewhere in there. This is Command & Conquer: The First Decade. Yeah, it's on DVD-ROM, so it's not that old. Brand new, sealed. I took a best offer on this of $35 plus shipping on top. It'll go out first class easily. So yeah, that was part of the big lot of stuff I got for 30 bucks total that just keeps on paying off. All right, another thing I sold was this deck of Coca-Cola cards, set of cards. I have like 15 of these things. So I took a $5 plus shipping on top offer for these. And then the last thing I have to pull, oh no, not the last thing, I have one thing on the other account to pull too, is this little Pokemon Gold version game. This is the one that does save, so I charged a little more for it. A viewer named Ben bought this game, so thanks a lot, Ben. I appreciate the business, man. Hope you like the game. All right, packages are away, and now I've got some stuff here. I need to open it up. I know what these 2 things are. I don't know what the other 3 things are. The other 3 things are from viewers, though. Viewers that have bought from me and have my address. Unfortunately, they were on the porch, which they never dropped stuff there, and they got a little wet, but I don't think they got wet enough to worry about it. I don't think it got inside the packages. So let's see what we got here. All right, let's see what we got in this big one first. I'm very curious. I didn't know that any of these things were coming. So try and be careful. This one I think says sign on the outside of the package. So I'm very interested to see what we have here. This is from GC Vintage Shop. Guess that's the eBay store. There is a note. Love the channel, and I've been a subscriber for some time now. Recently was lucky enough to grab a mug, and thank you for what you're doing with the profits. Awesome. Anyways, saw you sold your Yingling sign the other day, so thought maybe you could use another one to fill the space. Your friend in Florida, Grant. All right, Grant, let's see what we got in here, man. This is exciting. And yes, I sold, oh wait, did I? No, I didn't sell a Yingling. I sold a, what, Dorothy Pomeroy. Oh wow, this is cool. Dottie's Dolls. This is really pretty cool. Look, it's on wood, and it's hand painted. Orange City, Florida, Dottie's Dolls. So yep, I will find a good spot for this on the wall. Thank you so much, Grant. That is cool. I like the handmade look to it. So yeah, man, thanks a bunch, dude. That's awesome. And as usual, I am taping the letter to the back of the sign, so whenever I'm dead and gone and people come in here and start dismantling this place, they'll look at the back of the sign and they can get the story. All right, next up, this is from my man Gary. A lot of y'all know Gary, I'm sure, in the chat, in the comments. Let's see what we got here, Gary. I'm a little scared. What do we have? Gary sent, oh, look at that. The Beastie Boys video anthology 2-disc collection. So yeah, Gary knows that I'm a big Beastie Boys fan, so he sent me this. Oh, that is cool, Gary. And look at all the care he took with packing it with bubble wrap. I'm not that careful of a packer. He packed it with bubble wrap so that the disc would stay in there. Oh, it's got some kind of, oh, it's got a big poster too. Look, ooh, this might be the best part, Gary. Ooh, this is the best part. Look at this poster. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, look at this. Yes, I like that. That is awesome. That poster getting hung for sure. I'm gonna hang this side. That is cool. That's from like the Sabotage type era or whatever. So that is awesome, Gary. Thank you so much, man. There's a letter here too. There's a picture too. Let's see. Show the letter in case there's something private. Beast T Boys. Hey, Lonnie, don't know if you had this set already, but I couldn't just up and leave it at the sale now, could I? Gary, that's awesome, dude. Thanks so much. I really appreciate it. And I will hang this poster soon-ish. I've actually got a lot of signs I need to hang, but I'm going to try and start getting this stuff up on the walls. Man, I have space over here, have some space here, have some space here. I might be able to finagle some space back there somewhere. But yeah, thanks a bunch, Gary. That is cool. This is from Chris. Chris is a loyal viewer and a customer. I think I just shipped something out to you today, Chris. Something you bought. So let's see what is in this box. But I'm not opening this very pretty, am I? Some kind of LED light. What? Oh my goodness. Speech bubble message board. Sharper image LED. What? Well, you can make this thing say what you want. Oh, you write on it. I see. Powered by 3, includes 2. Let me take a look at this. Let's pop it out of here. Get out of there. Okay, it's a dry erase board that lights up. Packed very well. It's got all the, it's even got batteries and everything. That is cool. Okay. That is really cool. You know what? If I go back to a momentum board, maybe I could simplify it and put everything on here. Yeah, that is cool, man. Thank you so much, man. Chris, I really appreciate it, dude. This is cool. This is really cool. I like that. I like that. I'm trying to think of where I would put it. I might even, I don't know. Man, that is cool. Thank you so much. Thank all three of y'all, actually. Chris and Gary and Grant, thanks a lot. That's some cool stuff to hang on the walls. I really appreciate it, guys. The other two little baggies, I bought this from Justin over at RVA Flips. One side, am I going to stay away from garage sales? The other side, hell no. So yeah, that I'm going to put that into the rotation. That is a cool shirt, Justin. And then the other package is a Thrift Mind shirt. Keep dreaming, you crazy dreamers. Thrift Mind. And there's New Hampshire right there. I got two of these. One for me. I like this. That's going to go into the rotation too. I got one for me and I got one for Candace. So maybe next time we go garage selling together, we might wear that. Or I might wear the Hell No shirt. But yeah, those are cool. So yeah, that was fun. That was fun. Again, I appreciate the stuff, guys. All right, they're here. I ordered boxes for the next round. This is the boxes. It's a lot of boxes. This is for the next round of mugs. So we still have to. I don't know when that's gonna launch. I'll let y'all know though. But we still have to go bring the check. I think it's gonna be Wednesday, but I'm not positive. I gotta talk to Candace when she gets home from work. She was supposed to talk to the coordinator over there today. So, my gosh, the logistics get kind of out of hand once you do this at any kind of scale. So now I think I got a good spot for these boxes. They won't be here for very long anyway. At least I hope not. Okay, got them all put away. There's some there and there's a bunch more right here. Actually had room for them. Thank goodness. Glad those aren't going to be in here for long. Now I got to get rid of all this stuff. All right, let's do some questions and comments that y'all left. It's been a weird day today, y'all. Krogman von Craig, I like that name. Is that a picture of Candace over the door? This picture right here, that is actually a signed photo of Fiona Apple. Got that at a yard sale for $1. I think it's legit. I'm not 100% sure. It's a cool picture. The only problem with it is it's got some damage. It looks like it might have gotten wet, and I can't actually even take it out of that frame because it's kind of like stuck to the glass. So I listed it on eBay and I figured it would take a while to sell. I think I priced it like 20 bucks. I figured it would take a while to sell, so I just hung it up there until it sells. But no, that's not Candace. I do like Fiona Apple though. Like her voice. Like I think she's got a great voice. I like her. Hey, Ken Van Tassel. Ken asked, Lonnie, where do you get your Dymo labels? I'll put a link in the description. I looked in the description just now and I'm not linking them yet. So I will put a link in the description. Mine are generic. They're not Dymo brand. Dymo brand are crazy high. Let's see, Dymo label link. As a matter of fact, I need to order some pretty soon. I think I'm down to like, wow, actually I need to order them very soon. I think I'm down to like, oh boy. Okay, I'm glad you said that. I need to order now. This next batch of mugs, I'm gonna burn through them. So yeah, I'll order them, and then while I'm ordering, I will also grab the link. All right, Simply Leilani. That almost sounds like Lonnie, doesn't it? Hi, Lonnie. I have a question. How do you package and ship your hats? Have a great weekend. I enjoy your videos. Thank you. So, actually, you said have a great week ahead. This is the box I've been using. I used to use like a square box, but I found that most hats fit well, just barely. There's not a whole lot of room to spare in an 8x6x4 box I get from eBay. This is about the smallest box you could use for a hat, but I found it fits most of them. And this box weighs, wait, it's got 0 out. Why is it not registering? I must be. Apparently it doesn't weigh anything. What's going on here? Haven't turned it off in a while. There, now it's, you know, it wasn't zeroed. 0.2 pounds. 0.2 pounds, that weighs about 3 ounces, a little over 3 ounces. So, yeah, this is what I use. Typically, the hats will ship at like 7 ounces, 7 or 8. But I shipped 3 hats today, and that's the box I used. All right, Patricia Roy asked, do you need a different email address and credit card or bank account to start a second eBay account? You do need a different email address because that's how eBay identifies you, is by email address. So you would need a separate eBay address. You can use the same PayPal account. The rules with PayPal accounts, you can have one personal and one business account. So you could use either the same or different PayPal accounts. I use the same PayPal account for both of my accounts, and then different email addresses. You can use the same physical address for both accounts. All right, Hambo Hunts. You use the GoPro for all your types of videos. Keep up the great work. Yeah, I'm currently using a GoPro Hero 7 Black Edition for, yeah, all my videos pretty much. If I do a live stream, a lot of times it'll just be this little webcam right here. But yeah, and every now and then I'll use my phone if I want to record something and I don't have the GoPro handy. But just about everything you see is GoPro Hero 7 Black, and I will get the new one when it comes out. All right, this is from Adam Snook. Hey Lonnie, hope all is well. Question: I hear Justin over at RVA talking about Q4 a lot and holding certain items to list. This will be my first Q4 as a reseller, and I was wondering how you deal with it. Do you increase your prices a certain percentage or just continue to use sold listings as comp/pricing? Do you hold any particular items for the holidays? My approach to Q4 is, like, I don't really have an approach. Typically, most of my inventory is used. So I don't experience the same bump that other sellers do during Q4. I know a lot of clothing sellers get a big bump during Q4, and a lot of people that do RA, of course, get a huge bump during Q4. But my sales are really fairly level throughout the year, including during that time when they talk about summer slowdown. That's when I have a lot of new, like, some of my best inventory coming in. So my sales actually can sometimes increase during the summer months. I don't experience the mad fluctuations like some other people do. Also, a lot of it has to do with, I sell a huge variety of stuff. So I don't really have an approach for Q4 as far as that goes. Now, when you refer to Justin over at RVA Flips, he has a huge stockpile of retail arbitrage stuff. If you look at his videos, he's got like a ton of brand new inbox toys and whatnot. And I can see that, you know, needing a strategy for that kind of stuff. I have a lot. Actually, this Q4 may be a little different for me because I do still have a lot of this Batman and collectible stuff that kind of stuff that I haven't had in past years. So I might not be the right person to ask about Q4 strategy, because my sales will go up a little bit, like, for Q4, but not really that much. You know, like used hard goods sellers, I would say for the most part, don't enjoy that same bump that like RA and clothing guys do. All right, here's an interesting question. One I don't know the answer to, but I wanted to read it. This is from Tim Loyal here. A question: recently everyone was talking about postage on the prepaid labels. Do you post-date your labels when you print them on a weekend? I had never heard of it myself. I don't know why I can't talk. But people are saying eBay will ding you if you print a label and it's not shipped the same day. I think it's getting too strict as weekends don't ship anyways, but I print labels and didn't even know you could change the dates on the labels. I didn't either. So you worry with it? They're saying a priority label printed on Friday or Saturday and sits till Monday would be out of date, as a 3-day would be off. I've watched 3 years of videos and never once heard of this till this weekend. I do not know. I don't have the answer to that question. I typically don't even pack stuff until recently on Fridays, Saturdays, and even Sundays. I typically pack, like weekend sales, I pack on Monday morning, but I've changed recently. So I don't know, Tim. Does anybody know the answer to this question? I mean, Saturdays and Sundays aren't supposed to count for anything. As far as like shipping time. So I would think not, but I don't know for sure. Anybody in the comments know? Okay, here's a very good question from my friend Bianca in Germany. She says, Lonnie, how happy are you with your storage system? I see so many people doing it different ways, and you seem not to have item numbers or numbers for the places you put an item. Do you think there's a breaking point where you need that, or do you think your method works fine no matter the amount of inventory? Well, okay, Bianca, that's a really good question. I think in general, my method works fine because I sell such a wide variety of items that as long as I can just keep like items in the same place, like Batman, toys, clothing, shoes, VCRs, comic books, collectibles, like if I can just keep all that stuff, video games, books, you know, like if I sell a book, I know the book is going to be back here. If I sell a PC game, it's going to be here. If I sell a laser disc, I know in my head it's going to be here or here. You know, and already we've talked about hundreds and hundreds of items, and I can find them usually within about 15 seconds. Okay. If I sell a yearbook, I'm going over there. If I sell a WDCC figure, I'm going right here. You know, now I'm probably up to about 500 items. Maybe not that many, maybe 400 items, but I don't know. If I sell some shoes, I'm gonna come over here. You know, like I think that if you sell a lot of very similar items, like if you are a clothing seller and that's all you sell, then you better have a really tight inventory system with bin locations and all that kind of stuff. But like I listed this sign today. Wherever I put this sign in here, I'll probably see it 100 times before it sells, and I'll walk right to it. So I mean, I am not really that organized, but I think the biggest weakness I have is that I need to have a designated area where unlisted stuff is, because I have unlisted stuff in a couple of different places now, and this has kind of gotten away from me. Whenever I first moved into this shed, I was in a hurry because I was out of business for a week or so. Actually, probably a couple of weeks, huh? This shed took a little while to get up and running. But I mean, I was basically like not listing or anything for a pretty good while. So I was just like, hurry, hurry, hurry. And I didn't spend the amount of time I probably should have. But I will say that in my case, I don't think I need like bins and stuff. I just don't think I need it. But having said that, if I had somebody else come in here and I said, look, I'm not feeling good today, can you pull my orders for me? They would have a heck of a time. Like, it would be hard. So I'm not telling anybody else to do it like I do it, but this works for me. Like, I know I sell a camera or some kind of piece of like a little camera equipment or something like that. It's going to be up here. Small electronic, like a MP3 player or ink. It's going to be in here somewhere. You know, that's, I don't know. A lot of people probably cringe whenever, or like if I sell a glove, it's going to be in here. You know, like a lot of people might cringe just thinking about something like that. And if it might not be for you, but it works for me. So I don't know. I don't think it's perfect. I do think, as far as your question about, is there a breaking point? I think I could probably have twice the number of items and still operate the same way. Unless I got real specialized into one type of item. Like if I went back into jeans, which I won't. If I went into jeans, I would have to like organize them by item number, bin number, etc. And I have done that before with specific items where I have a lot of the same item. comic books, little figures and stuff. I've done that before. But I mean, there's too many examples, like these cards, signed cards. Anytime I sell some signed cards, it's not that big of a deal. I just come grab these binders, flip through them real quick, find the cards. You know, I don't know. I'm probably one of the more disorganized people you'll see on YouTube, though. So many good questions. I don't even think I can get to all the good ones, but I'm gonna do what I can. LQD info. Hi, I just don't get why you would refund shipping. I charge shipping and people purchase the item regardless. I don't refund partial shipping. Thanks. Joe B from Canada. So Joe, usually the only time I refund shipping is when someone buys something, and let's say they buy 2 or 3 items from me, and I'm going to end up shipping them in one box. So I'm going to combine the shipping. Just from fair play, I think that I should refund the extra shipping back to them. Whether they're a viewer or a random buyer off of eBay, I'm going to refund that every time. And, you know, that's just the way I choose to do it. I don't think it's necessary, though. And if I ordered something, if I ordered 3 things from, say, you off of eBay, and I didn't make a prior arrangement for shipping, I would not expect you to refund it to me. But I know that the customers appreciate it, and it's some things, we all have different ethics. Some things I consider right, and I'm just going to do them just because that's the way I feel. There's no judgment on anybody else. That particular thing, when people buy multiple items from me and I ship in one box, it feels right for me to refund some of the shipping. However, if somebody buys something from me and I calculated at 3 pounds and it actually ships at 2 pounds, typically I'm going to keep that, because like you say, it's fair play. They saw the shipping cost up front, and they were fine with it then, and I'm still not going to print it on the label, though. So I hope that answers that. All right, this is from Mall 74656. Question: I'm wondering if you include packing slips. If not, why not? What is your thought process there? I do not include packing slips, and it has never been an issue that I know of to not include the packing slip. I don't want to print another piece of paper for every order. I just put a label on the package. What I have been doing is, for every package, I will take one of these cards. A lot of you have probably seen these if you've ordered a mug or anything else. I'll take one of these cards with my information on there, and I'll write a quick thank you on the back, and I'll throw it in the package. Other than that, I don't put anything in there. I don't see the point. I have seen the argument, which, you know, sounds somewhat valid, that some people want to do it because if the postage label gets defaced, they can open it up and look inside and maybe still get it on to its destination. Like I say, that has never actually come into play for me, but that is a rational reason. Another reason may be that if you watch Crazy Picker Life, that's actually part of their process. Like, they print out all their invoices and they use those to pull the orders from. I just put my orders up on this screen here and pull from there, and then print labels one at a time. But, you know, different people have different processes for that. Like, maybe if you're doing 100 orders a day, maybe you print all your invoices out and then use those and hand those off to another person. They go pull the orders. That might make sense, but I don't do it. Okay, this is from Paul Nardelli. Hi Lonnie, I enjoy your videos. Hi, I'm an eBay seller as well. My question is about feedback. Do you do anything extra to get a buyer to leave feedback? I'm frustrated by the buyers that don't leave any. I don't. Well, I say I don't. There are a couple of things that I do, and I mentioned this little card. It doesn't say anything about feedback. I would never, my style, I wouldn't ask for feedback at all. I just don't like doing that. Just like I don't ask for likes on videos or anything like that, or even for subscribers. I just don't like to ask for certain things. That makes me uncomfortable, so I don't do it. But You know, some people like to put little cards that say leave feedback, and when I get packages that have that, it doesn't like annoy me or anything. So maybe that works. Maybe some people in the comments could talk about that. Another thing that I think I do to try and get good feedback is to ship very fast and to ship items as described. You know, I mean, obviously that's just like basic stuff, right, for eBay. But other than that, I don't do anything and I don't worry about it. And yeah, feedback is going to be low. It's going to be like, for me, probably somewhere around 30%. And I think I may be doing a little better than most with that. So yeah, it's just something like, I understand when you first start, especially, you want that feedback, but 6 months from now, if you're still selling, you won't even worry about it anymore, unless it's negative. Ishmael Olvera, hello, asked, hey Lonnie, how much money should I invest to start selling on eBay? Okay, that's going to be different for everybody. Some people are maybe experienced and might just start with a ton of cash and just really get things rolling right off the bat. Some people may be learning, or maybe not have a lot of money and maybe still have a job, and maybe they start with $100 and just bootstrap it and just keep on building that up while they work their 9 to 5 and turn the $100 into like a nice pile of cash where they can really get a good sourcing budget. So that's really not a there's really no good answer for that. My current enterprise, I could tell you, I started with $150. I bought some educational robots from a guy off the street in the downtown district. It's like an antique district. He had a cart with a bunch of like robot arms and stuff like that. I bought the cart from him for $150. It had I don't know, maybe 5-6 robots on it. One robot, one of them, I sold for over $700 and shipped it to India. And yeah, between all the robots on that cart, it's been a long time. $1,500 to $2,000 I made. I took that money, I rolled it right back into more inventory, and I did it again. Then I quit my job. So I had other money other than that, but I didn't ever really have to touch it. I'm just saying, as an example, you can either start with a big chunk of cash, or it is possible to make a big score and bootstrap your way into it. So I would advise you, like, the worst thing that you can do as a reseller, the absolute worst thing, is to run out of cash. Like, deals, opportunities come along, and the worst thing that can happen is for you not to have the money to take advantage of a great opportunity. All right, this is a very interesting question from my friend Todd, the Silver Hair Stacker, who has a YouTube channel also. Lonnie, question: when is a deal too big for you to pick up? Scenario: let's say that a Baton Rouge jewelry store is closing and you have the opportunity to buy 100 Rolex watches for $200,000 and known eBay value is $500,000. Would you make the buy? In other words, I am curious what your threshold for upfront purchase is. Okay, that is a really interesting question, Todd. And man, I can tell you one thing for sure. 100 Rolex watches for $200,000. I think that would be too big for me right now. Okay, I know that would be too big for me right now. That'd be the kind of deal where I would have to bring investors in or something, you know. And I think I might be able to make that happen. I might be able to swing some investors for that. If it could get dicey, I would probably pass on a deal that big. The biggest deal, the most money I've ever spent was not too long ago with my guy. I spent $1,500. I've never spent more than that. As a matter of fact, I remember a couple of years ago, I made a buy of a bunch of cases of Mary Kay cosmetics, and I paid $500 for all of it. And at that point, I remember handing over the $500, and I mean, I was almost shaking. It was like, it seemed like just a ton of money to me at the time. And I was really, even though I was really confident about the buy, $500, it just seemed like a lot. And then after you do enough of these $500 deals, then it's like you become desensitized almost to a fault sometimes, to where the $100 bills just start, you know, it's not a big deal anymore. My pain point, the $1,500 buy was big, but I was still really confident. So I wasn't nervous about that one at all. I think if a deal got over $5 grand for me right now, I'd start getting nervous. I would still do it if it was right, but I would be pretty nervous about a $5,000 deal. I think anything over probably 10K for me right now might get into the realm of too big, but I'm not saying I wouldn't make it happen somehow, depending on the deal, depending on how well I knew the inventory, depending on how well I knew the seller, depending on how confident I was it can move quickly. There's a lot of factors there, but I would say my threshold for when I would start getting really weak in the knees would probably be $10,000. Okay, wow, that was some really good questions y'all asked today. And not all my answers are gonna be like in agreement with a lot of what your opinions are, which is fine. Please share your opinions down below. Yesterday I gave an answer about the, you know, wanting to get an email, or not wanting to get in, but wanting to send an invoice for the additional shipping, and I got that answer totally wrong. So you know, yeah, share your opinions down below. This is a really good talking points. You guys are asking some awesome friggin' questions. This is my favorite part of the video now, by the way. So yeah, I'm gonna call it a day. Stitch these clips together and get them uploaded. Thank y'all so much for watching. I should see y'all again tomorrow. I may have a special surprise.